All right, so now we're going to go on to our next topic. So, this is wild. It's like you thought one layoff wasn't bad. You thought 2 layoffs weren't bad. Now we're at 3. Mark Zuckerberg at it again with his the Zuck. But yeah, he's at it again. Lay off more people. More peeps.
Insane.
First layoff was like 10,000 people. No, 11,000 people, according to my notes. And man, that hurt the area. It hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Then another layoff happened, and there was like 10,000. So or like a bunch more people got laid off. And now there's another 4,000 people from a tech division that were laid off.
Yeah, I think this round was what, like 10,000 and 4,000 of that. Yeah,
yeah, 4,000.
Yeah. It's wild. I don't know. Like, from what I hear, the market right now for these roles in the area are getting wild. The competition's getting wild.
Yes.
I have heard stories, by the way, of I've heard stories about people getting their offer put on hold.
Really?
Because all these people are coming into the job market. So it's like
that's messed up because they're like, oh, we see some like better people. Let's just wait and see if you're still the best person.
Yeah, so it's like they've
up.
been putting some people on pause. I don't know how many companies are doing this, but it's understandable and easy. It's easy to assume because you have a massive influx of workers that are coming into the market. For better or worse, because there's even people moving up. There's people looking for other roles. So even people who are laid off and who have a fear of being laid off.
And all the 10,000, 4,000 people that originally got laid off are probably still looking for jobs. Or like, I mean, some of them are probably. I mean, hopefully they found some other roles to fill. Like, I hope that everybody finds a new job because everybody deserves to have some kind of like work to do.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's really honestly, it's really like.
But the sad truth is,
the company failed these people. It's true.
I mean,
I was like, you guys.
I think they failed themselves.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I would have to say because like, I think that the company probably overhired where it shouldn't have. And I feel like we've been through this rabbit hole. We've been through all these layoffs.
I mean, we have to keep continuing.
Yes, it's true.
They keep giving us content.
The listeners must know because some of these might not be. Some of the listeners and some of the viewers might not be as.
I mean,
yeah, they might not know as much within the context of the Silicon Valley and the people being laid off. And
or you just want us to say it to you.
Oh yeah, or you could just listen in. You could tune in.
Yeah, if you see something that's like interesting, just click on the video, do us a solid. But
give us a like.
Like and subscribe. But so apparently that's not enough. They are not done. The final form has not happened yet.
Oh my god.
The goal supposedly 25% of Meta is disappearing.
That is insane.
They were upset at like 10% when they cut 10,000 people, 11,000 people. They were already upset. The countries were upset that they were closing down their like I think there was an African branch of Meta that like got shut down because of that.
That's
laying
insane.
off a bunch of people that made good money over there.
Yeah.
And the government was like, what is going on? They were very upset.
I do want to say that that's a large amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
And, they are not backfilling these roles.
No.
Yeah, which is harder because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, just for like... Yeah, because like these are very specific roles at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say, stock market likes it.
Stock market, yeah.
Stock market likes it. The last I haven't checked, but the last time they did this, it
went up a lot.
It went up a lot because
it's like the consolidation. Like technically, they're making more money by reducing their baseline.
So what I had heard too, by the way, I've been on Reddit about this and looked it up. I had heard that it's
switching hats?
No, switching. I'm going to be putting my tinfoil hat on. No, I have an Enron hat, which is even worse. Oh, yeah, the Ancient Aliens hat. If viewers, if you don't know, he's wearing an Ancient Aliens hat. Or listeners, if you don't know, he's wearing an Ancient Aliens hat.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. So what I had heard is that they are laying off senior developers.
Senior people, that's interesting.
Yeah, which in developers too, because a lot of the time people were saying that these roles are secure and they're safe and they're going to need these people.
You would think so too, because like that's like they put a lot of effort into training and like developing these people to then just let them go.
So yeah, so I've been on maybe these tinfoil hat ones of people actually that had to work in the company, and they're saying it's like I was a senior developer, I got laid off. So I think that there's now an influx of just these technical workers because they were going to focus on the technical workers, the people outside, the people in the engineering roles, the software development roles, also some other roles which within finance that they were looking to lay off. So
So you're saying that there could be even more.
There
layoffs.
could be even more layoffs.
I think they did hint at that. They're not at 25% yet. They're at like maybe
that's a lot of people.
18% of
That's
layoff.
So
I think there's definitely another big push that's gonna happen.
I had heard, by the way, this is different.
Speculative?
No, this is
Or
also
just
speculative.
facts?
Alleged. This is alleged.
Oh, okay,
by the
fair.
Way. That I had heard that Google is slowly closing down some of their cafeterias where workers could eat.
Why?
Yeah,
that seems so weird. Like, oh, we don't want you to eat anymore.
They're
the free ones,
they're cutting,
though, right?
Yeah, the free ones. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
so
fair enough.
They're cutting costs. And
would you rather that? Well, I think that's if I was
hard.
a worker there and I would rather them cut costs that way, and I have to buy my lunch than like have my friend or like coworkers get laid off if possible.
Yeah. This is all alleged, by the way. I had heard this through a grapevine, but I don't think it affects the main office, but I think it's other areas, like other branches or small branches of Google.
You know what's odd though? Like, think about it this way. Like, we talk about the layoffs of like these big companies like Meta, etc. But think about all the supporting roles that are supporting these people that are like now having to lay off people. Like you just said that they're closing down cafeterias. Like, think about how many people have to work in a cafeteria.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's and I would assume that they get paid a pretty good amount too.
They get paid decently. Like,
yeah.
Oddly enough, when I was over in North Carolina, one of the guys I was working with, he was a catering chef. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Formerly a catering chef.
Yeah.
Working in SF, but he was saying he got paid pretty well. Like,
I could imagine.
Maybe not like SF well, but I mean like he got paid decently well.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I've been hearing through the grapevine and things that I saw on Reddit. Maybe tinfoil hat, but at the same time,
I think that's like very like legitimate concerns. Like, I think those are like, you could see like easily where that would come from.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not like, oh, it's not a huge leap. Like, oh, now that they're doing this. I think it's very ironic that Meta is moving away from the metaverse.
Yeah.
And that's why I think isn't that the whole reason why?
They lost like what, $13 billion on the metaverse. And the thing is too, like, even though they have a lot of money, it's they still wanna make money, and they're cutting costs, and one of the most expensive things to have is employees. So it's it makes sense, and it makes sense because they could probably run the company with less people. I watched this YouTube video.
But then like you have to define the core of the company. Yeah. And like if you're like constricting or reducing the amount of people, you're reducing the growth potentially of the company, because you're like going to the core aspects. And where does the growth come if you're reducing like the power, like the like the engineering power of the company?
Yeah. So I watched this YouTube video, by the way, for good or bad. This guy's take was not necessarily my take, but he said Elon Musk laid off like 70% of the people or something like that. It was something
at Twitter?
At Twitter. And
he did lay off a lot. I thought it was 30%.
Oh yeah,
it was a lot of people.
He laid off a lot of people. He laid off 30%. And this guy's take was that Twitter's still running. Twitter is still operating. So
that is
so
people thought it was gonna crash and burn.
Yeah, but it's still up, and even with all those people gone, so it might be suffering in other areas that we might not know of, but at the same time, it's still up and running. Even with all the cut of people, and Facebook's still gonna run.
That's
true. With all these people gone, Facebook's still gonna run. Google's still gonna run. Even with all these people laid off. I don't know what parts that they might not be growing in. Maybe they were cutting off areas that they weren't growing in. Or
I thought it was just all metaverse stuff.
I'm not too sure, but
and recruiting.
and well, technical rules and gaming,
Yeah.
but yeah, gaming. So
Gaming too. The Facebook
yeah,
gaming was
yeah. So
the
it's a lot. It's a lot of people. And no, they said they were gonna do Instagram. They were cutting people at
really for
Instagram.
Instagram
Yeah,
too. Their moneymaker.
Yeah, I think CNBC said that they were gonna do Instagram.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's hard. I think, but you know what? Like this guy said, it's still gonna run.
Yeah, I heard a predictive thought that while they're reducing so many people, at some point they're going to have to hire people back, and that is going to be an interesting time because they're not going to have the bandwidth to hire back all the people to go for the new hotness of sorts,
Yeah.
which is AI. So if AI, they need a lot of very senior people, and they're just laying them off. Granted, there's a lot of budget or being spent in for payroll on these senior people, but that's a lot of talent they're throwing to the wayside.
Yeah, I did want to bring this up too because I know I was talking to you before we were recording this about how people are saying that it's a numbers game at the moment about applying to roles. And these people who are being laid off right now are having a struggle to find a job. And I was on a Reddit forum, and this guy was saying it's like, oh, I applied to 52 roles. I applied to 52 roles in a week. And
That's insane.
And then he's like, I got one call back, or in a month. He applied to 52 roles, and he got a call back.
That's insane. That's a very low percentage of
and
that's a what is it a 0.5% chance?
Yes, and let me tell you, people in the comments were applauding him
For getting one callback?
Yeah, for getting a callback because people were saying that I applied to 300 roles in a month, and I have not gotten a callback. And these people are just spreading their resumes everywhere, which is crazy. And they're just saying it's just a matter of time till you get something. Just apply everywhere. And I don't think
that's the case. Well, I
don't think that's the right way to do it. But I think it's for the people who really need a job. I can understand, but at the same time, I think it's they're not tailoring their resumes. And
that's what I was gonna get at. You can apply, but the ability to apply to 500 applications a month reduces the amount of effort you put into the one application.
Yeah.
If you're the one and your application stands out by being tailored to that role, then you're more likely to get a call back. You need to know that the search terms exist and things need to be aligned up, and you need to stand above and beyond. If you're just hitting apply all, then you're not really applying at that point. You're throwing your seed to see who calls back.
So this actually brought me to another interesting story where you were telling me that LinkedIn isn't even submitting your jobs.
Yeah,
LinkedIn isn't submitting anything.
It was another one. It might have been LinkedIn. It might have been the other one.
Oh,
but
one of them.
Which one?
Yeah, one of them was not submitting your jobs, and they was going nowhere.
Well, because it makes sense if because that would mean that LinkedIn had to interface with that company.
Yeah,
and the company has their own interface. So it could be that you're applying, but maybe it's just a metric to say that you applied on the website.
Yeah,
but you didn't actually apply to their website.